What up, Facebook? Back with another book review. It's been a while, so I'm really excited to review this book for you guys on Facebook Live. So, the book is titled Talent. There's a T under that price tag. Talent is Overrated, and it's by Jeff Colvin. And Jeff Colvin was actually the senior editor at large for Fortune magazine, which, if you know Fortune, is a very popular business oriented and related magazine. And this whole book stemmed from an article he wrote kind of analyzing success and how people achieve success and successful people. I want to relate this to Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers in the context about analyzing successful cases and successful stories, but it's not entirely the same. It has a lot more research based, not just examples or anecdotes, but scientific and statistical research based techniques applied and used for successful people, whether that was chess champions or looking at the lives of sports, really big prominent sports figures and chess players and things like that. To give a brief synopsis of the book, the first half, or the first couple chapters was kind of slow. If you don't really surround yourself with successful, or you don't indulge in success-based content, it might be really new for you. It might be really fun and exciting. But I kind of on a daily basis digest a lot of success-based content. Follow a lot of entrepreneurs and read a lot of people that engage success and discuss success. So that first little bit was kind of familiar. So I'm like, it's a little boring. But then when he started getting into different research topics, for instance, he talks about a study done that tested memory, and basically they found out that test subjects' memory could be improved over time. And before that, they thought memory was just something genetic or a mental ability that was really fixed at the level you have upon birth. It really wasn't able to grow throughout time, but they disproved that through their study. So I'm just going to give you a little quick tip from the book, and it talks about one of the habits of successful people is called deliberate practice. And there's very specific outline for what deliberate practice is. And I'm going to go into those with you, and it'll give you a little taste of what the book is about and how it kind of formats itself. So, deliberate practice. Step one, it's designed to improve performance and follow procedures from past successes or teachers. So you don't want to go and do your own little plan, especially if you're learning something new for the first time. Learn from someone who's done it before. Learn their mistakes. Make sure it's designed to improve on skills you need improving upon, hence why you're practicing. Step two, it can be repeated a lot. So it does you no good to, practice, but if you can't repeat it, then what's the point? You have to make it habit. So you have to find a practice regimen that you can practice, or you have to find practice that you can practice. You have to find a practice regimen that you can repeat easily. It has to be something available to you. So if you want to be, a coastal swimmer, I don't know if that's a thing. If you want to practice swimming on the coast, it doesn't do you any good to live on an inland city. You need to be by the coast and you need to be practicing swimming there. Practice that can be repeated. Step three, feedback is continuously available. This is very important. If you don't have feedback through your process of practicing and learning new skills, especially feedback from someone who's done it before, you're never going to know what you're doing. It's really hard to see your own problem when you can't see yourself performing. Now, I know you can do things in front of a mirror, but you need an outside perspective to tell you, hey, you're not doing this correctly. You need to change this. If you tweak this, it'll change your performance completely. So you need that feedback while you're practicing, while you're working. It needs to be highly demanding mentally. It doesn't have to be physically demanding, but mentally. It has to be something that requires a lot of brain power. And I'm not just saying doing crossword puzzles or Sudoku. It requires you to think a lot about what you're doing and think about your actions and analyze yourself, which requires a lot of mental brain power. So that's one of the, I think it's the fourth step. Yes, the fourth step of deliberate practice. And the fifth and final step is that it isn't much fun. Now, I know this might not sound really positive if you want to get started having deliberate practice. Why would I want to do something that's not fun? there's a very important point he makes in this book where a lot of people have fun doing things they're good at. But if you're good at something, you don't really need that much practice with it. If you're bad at something and it's something that is a component of an overall goal you're reaching, you need to make that something you're good at. I am completely a proponent for improving on your strengths, but if you're reaching a goal, say, hey, I want to write an essay or a book, and you are terrible at starting sentences or starting paragraphs, you need to work on that, because you can be the best at, writing the chunks of sentences in a paragraph, but you can't start a paragraph. You're going to have a tough time writing a book. So you have to practice and do things that aren't fun until they become fun, because you become better at them through deliberate practice. I hope this helps you in whatever you're working on. I hope you can take these steps. If you want me to send you typed out version of them, let me know. I'll send it to you so you can look at them and really analyze your practice style. If you are not working on something to practice, or not working on becoming better at something, one, you probably should. We have so much time in our lives to improve ourselves, so why not take some time daily? I'm not saying your entire day, maybe 15, 20 minutes to improve upon something in your life and to work towards a goal. If you are and you find out you're not as effective as you'd like to be, apply these steps. See how it works. Experiment. Be the mad scientist of your life, and see how the results change over time. Peace and blessings. And a little special something for you guys. I usually have just a straight review, but instead of just giving a straight review, I'm also going to let you know. So I read two types of books. I read books that are like my investment books. I invest in my brain. This was one of them. This is usually what my book reviews have been about. But I'll let you in on my other type of book that I read, which is a personal book, which is something I read recreational for going to bed or just to relax. And I just started Angels and Demons by Dan Brown, and I'm super excited to start reading that series. It seems really good. And I don't know if I'm going to watch the movies, but the books, I've only read 2 chapters and I'm already hooked. So I might spend like 2 hours tonight just reading through Angels and Demons. So we'll see. If this helps you, let me know. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If not, have a good rest of your day and keep learning, y'all.